In some ways, manifesting a specific person is no different from manifesting anything else. You visualize in the same way. You use emotion in the same way. You eliminate conflicting patterns in the same way. But in certain other respects, it is a special case, and it is also a major kind of manifestation. My recommendation to anyone attempting it, and this I have always done myself when attempting it, is to reinforce the basic intention effort with other practices and the magical influence which extend beyond Neville-like teaching. When I say manifest a specific person, I mean a specific person, not a specific concept of a person. The latter is an easier manifestation because there are many more pathways through probability. You are likely to see the following situation turn up sooner or later when you attempt to manifest a specific person. Another person will start to show in your experience who appears to fit at least a substantial portion of the picture you are manifesting for, with one important minus: they are not in fact the individual you are manifesting for. In a sense, this is the universe telling you that there is currently an easy bridge of incidents to the individual being offered. Always take that seriously, even if you ultimately choose to pass up the offer. First, it is actually your manifestation at work, even if it is an incomplete version. Second, it might well lead to the happiness you seek. Again, you must decide. I can almost predict for you that if you are serious about the business of manifesting a specific person, this will happen to you sooner or later. Alright, so let's say you knuckle down. A bridge of incidents to your true SP is harder right now, or longer across a larger span of incidents. And that is why it isn't manifesting right now. This is indeed the point at which you must keep the faith. However, you need to be careful, and again, I am speaking from direct experience. Attempting to manifest a specific person is potentially injurious to your mental health, and you must govern your activities so that, as far as you are able, they don't become life and death for you. Yes, I know it's important, but if you are crying your eyes out every evening, or every second evening because you don't have your other, then you are not in a good space, and this isn't good for manifestation either. Manifestation is a living principle. By nature, it is positive and exuberant, and playful in its expression. If your process does not have these qualities, and in particular if your process is leading to a shrinkage of your own life, then that is a wrong method. Not just because it is bad for you, but because you are actually distancing yourself further from living principle rather than merging with it, which is what you are aiming for. My manifestation was largely delayed because of falling into this trap and holding too tight, like a desperate climber holding onto a rope on a cliff edge, with the rope fraying against the stone with each passing moment. Not a good situation. Take whatever psychological steps you must to inoculate yourself against that. Remember that the incident bridge must construct itself by space-time particulars that make sense according to the consensus world. Your SP is never going to bubble up out of your bath drain or materialize at your side when you rub a lamp. Yes, manifestation is a kind of magic, real magic, but it is also not fantasy. The simplest case. Let's say that your SP is right at this moment on the other side of the world, and your manifestation goal requires you to physically meet it. Alright, well, the fastest possible bridge of incidents requires them or you to get on an international flight, and the event will be 12 hours away. It is not going to be 12 minutes away. Manifestations come through time and space. Now, in a real situation, a bridge of incidents might take months or years. But it also illustrates why never to give up, so long as you can maintain a state of relative psychological health. How do you know if anything is happening? In broad terms, this can be answered with one word: synchronicity. Synchronicity can even be considered a kind of Geiger counter for the presence of the manifesting principle in your affairs. The syncs don't need to relate directly to your manifestation either, although, of course, it's all well and good if they do. Synchronicities are a sign that your deep psyche is aroused to produce phenomena in your experienced physical space. And that is a very positive sign. If you do not see any, it doesn't necessarily mean that nothing is happening, but my advice is to use them, as I say, as a Geiger counter and to change up or energize your process until you do see them. We can identify 3 categories of SP. 1, an X you have ongoing communication and ties with. 2, an X or a new person who is in your circle of influence, but there are few or any direct ties. 3, an X or a new person with whom you have no current ties at all and no way of directly entering their experience except stalking. The last case is the most challenging, and the bridge of incidents must be drawn from far and wide, but even here, manifestation can deliver if you are sufficiently determined. Again, as Neville would say, you must persist if you would see a result. Your SP might be with another person now. If it is category 3, they might even be married to someone else and have never been with you at all. Strictly speaking, none of this is your concern. Nor is the free will of the other person, or their spouse, or their family, or their friends, or even their children any of your concerns. If these are concerns of yours, then you are not dealing in manifestation but in conventional societal ethics that don't understand the singularity of I am. You simply intend what you want. You don't visualize them separating from someone else. That's your imagination interfering in how territory, where it is trespassing on the rightful action of the manifesting principle. I mentioned above that I recommended additional actions because of the challenging nature of an SP manifestation, especially Category 3. There are a number of these you could do, and they come from practices that have long been intuitively understood by practitioners of magic in worldwide systems. Chief among these would be exploiting a sympathetic link. Be aware that Nevilleesque intention is a legitimate subset of magical action, but it is not the whole of such action. The gold standard for such a link is biological material from your SP, by which I mean a lock of hair or a nail clipping, etc. No need to get more gruesome than that. Obviously, that will only be possible under certain limited circumstances, but if the circumstances present themselves, you might want to make use of them. If that seems occult or weird to you, the correct way to think about it is this. Such a link forms a junction of probability between you and your SP which otherwise may be harder to come by without the link. If you cannot obtain a gold standard sympathetic link, then the silver standard would be a picture of the person or something else that was owned by the person or once in their physical presence. The bronze standard would be a picture of them that was never in their physical presence, or some other reference to them like this. Even if you have none of these things, it is still possible for you to form a junction of probability using an object that symbolizes your desired connection or your past connection with that person. Here are the steps on how to apply it practically to your SP situation. For the people who are manifesting their SP back, Step 1. Take a sheet of paper and write down everything that comes to your mind when I ask you. Explain your present situation, relationship with your SP. B. How would you describe your SP? C. How would you describe, see yourself? D. Explain the role she plays in the relationship and your role in it. Be honest with yourself and don't take too long to answer them. Step 2. Now read your answers. This is what you are conscious of being. A combination of all these beliefs is what you are presently aware of. In other words, what you are actually manifesting. This is important for you to know. How many of your thoughts that you wrote reflect that of a person who is living in an ideal relationship with their partner, and how many don't match? Tally them both and you'll know who is conscious of being. If most of your thoughts are in line with the ideal, desired reality, then it's all good. But if it's not, what do you do? Step 3. Discard all thoughts that don't serve you and increase the thoughts of being the person living the desired reality. What do I mean by this? Let's get a little creative. Assume now that you are in a sci-fi movie and I give you a pair of futuristic glasses through which you can see different reality. Now, you are going to see the world through the lens or eyes of the person who is actually living the desired reality. Let's say you even downloaded their mindset or their perspective into your head. If I ask you what are the things you admire about your SP, about yourself, what would you answer? Why do you love your SP? How does your partner show or express their affection? How is your relationship now? Answer all these from the new mindset you acquired. Write them down. Step 4. Consciously construct a short scene that implies that you're in your ideal reality. Just before sleep, imagine going to bed with these glasses on the new mindset. Play the short scene in your mind's eye. This time, live in it, think from it, and feel it. When you have felt a sense of accomplishment or a sense of relief or gratitude, let go and drop off to sleep. Notes: it's important that the new mindset or feelings should fill your consciousness before you drop off to sleep. Step 5. During daytime when you have doubts, put the glasses on again, meaning take out the sheet of paper you wrote in Step 3. Read it, feel it, let go and know that's who you are. Remember, you downloaded that mindset in your head already. It's a part of you. It is you. Keep activating it each time you feel you're out of it.